Okay, VW running boards. We're just having a look at ours here, and you can see what we have at the back here. We have some bubbling up underneath the plastic, underneath the rubber cover of the running board. Also, one of the clips has rusted away here, so we want to take a look at what we can do about this. Okay, here we have the screws that you'll need to take out to remove the running boards. There are 4 of these screws. You do not remove them, you do not need to remove these, but just to loosen them you have to remove the front screw and the back one to release the running board, and then it will just lift out. After loosening the rear, removing the rear nut and bolt and the front nut and bolt, loosening the 4 10mm bolts here, this literally just lifts off like that. This is where the trim clip has rusted through, and you can see the other trim clips still holding where they're twisted at around approximately 90 degrees once they're put in, and so they are a one-use only item. So what we've got to do now is turn those back around. They probably snap off in the process, to remove this the aluminium trim from the running board. So here we go. Twist that, and as I say, it's broken, which is probably where it's rusted through. It'll probably be the same in every case now. To remove these, I normally just helps squirt a little bit of, in this case, ACF 50 inside the channel. Okay, lost the nozzle there, a little bit in there. That's what a trim clip looks like, one that we managed to get out here that's stayed intact, and they slide up and down inside the aluminium trim. What I'll now try and do is tap one of these out . There you go. And out she comes. And now we've got the 2 trims here, got the old rusty clips removed and cleaned them up a bit, so all ready for when I get the new clips in the post, hopefully next week sometime. Okay, the next step is to remove the rubber cover like this all the way down from this side of the running board. So you just do that all the way down, and then we come to this side where we have to prise open the metal here, the retaining part of the running board there. Off it comes, all the way down. It's well stuck in with a load of underseal. There she goes. Once we've done that, just lift it off, and revealing the chamber of horrors underneath, particularly down this end where the old tin worms really been at work down there. Next we make a start down here and gradually move this metal lip away from the rubber. I normally use a screwdriver like this, and like that, all the way along. Okay. So we go all the way along. Like that, like so, till you get to the end. After we've done that, we can now just lift the plastic outer. Oh, just a little bit more there, possibly required. There we go. A little bit more there. And off she comes. So now we have something that looks like this, with a few little holes here, which I don't think is going to matter too much once we've got it cleaned up and we've got the rubber outer back on in place. Best to clean this up now, whatever way you feel happiest with, or maybe on a wire wheel, wire brush, any rust remover of a proprietary nature, any way just to get that cleaned up. Okay, here's the running board after it's been de-rusted, and I've given it a quick coat of the old black hammerite, and now we'll put the plastic cover, or attempt to put the plastic cover back on and see how it goes. Okay, and I've just given this a little coat, a little light coating of wax oil on the old rubber cover there, just to see if that's going to prevent the rust coming through in future. But for sure this will not take another restoration, only for the sake of originality and just really trying this out. I'm sure in hindsight it would have probably been a hell of a lot better to get a pair of good quality new ones, but never mind, it's worth having a try. This is what the running board looks like now. You can see this holes, perforations there. Tin worm's been at work on this one as well. Also, a thing to note here is the shape. These shaped areas that go where the 4 screws attach these running boards to the body are actually splayed out, For ease of fitting, this is so that you can leave the screws in with the washers. I'm not sure whether the reproduction running boards would have these, but I would say, you know, look for that if you're considering buying reproduction ones. Look for that splayed out piece on the running board itself. And internally I've coated it with a load of wax oil. Externally I've just given it a quick I hang it up on from a piece of wire and just gave it a quick coat of the word I was looking for was a quick coat of black Hammerite Smooth that I happen to have sitting about in a tin, which I'm sure will do a good job. Then I'll probably give this an external coat of wax oil, as also the inside of the rubber that goes over this. I'll give a coat of wax oil just to take away any traces of rust that there might still be on there and stop it hopefully rusting in the future. You can also see from this where I've, with the aid of the screwdriver and a hide mallet, opened up that channel to remove the rubber top, which surprisingly enough you'd think they might well be glued down, but in this case no, they're just held in this channel here. As they say, fitting is the reverse of the removal. Fit the rubber into the channel first, pin it over, and then it fits over this lip. This is the other running board after pining over the edge, and with another liberal application of the old wax oil on it, and lining up the slots as best you can, possibly by starting at one end, say that end there, pining that over, holding it, and then stretching it down to line up with the slots. And a good clean up with a bit of white spirit afterwards will get any wax oil off the surfaces where it's not supposed to be. There we are, lining up with the fixing points. That's what it looks like from the top when we stretch the rubber cover back over it, and just a few traces of the bubbles that we saw previously, but I think it's pretty good. This is what the inside of the other rubber mat looks like after I've put the wax oil on it, and that will be then ready to fit back onto that running board. Hopefully look pretty much like this one in the middle when it's finished. Now I've started putting the rubber mat here onto the running board, and the first hole, I think you possibly can see that's lined up, the first slot for the trim fixing to go through. But as we move along, you'll see that this slot doesn't line up, so fix this end in. I'm using mole grips at the moment just to pinch that tight, and then you'll find you have to give this a stretch like this to line that slot up, and then pinch the channel closed. And there's the edge. Push back over the lip that's in the rubber, and all the slots now are lined up. So it's just necessary now to turn it over, and from this side, starting at one end, bring this lip on the rubber over this edge of the running board. Start at one end I just use a screwdriver, good old trusty screwdriver here, and just hook the rubber over the edge of the lip using the screwdriver gently. This is what the running boards currently look like. Okay, they look pretty good. A few little dimples here and there, but I still think they'll pass. Very thick coat of wax oil, Tetraseal, whatever you want to call it, on the backs to protect them in future. And the clips have arrived. There is the original clip, and there is the new clip, and they are perfect. So we'll see how they fit. I've measured them, they look the same, and we'll see how it all slots together. Okay, here we have the trim clips in position. Once they're in position, they're pushed through this little slot. You just need to turn them, give them a little, put some pressure on them, little tug, and turn them through 90 degrees. And there you go. That's that one fixed. Okay, it's all back together. Trim is on and looking pretty good. Don't forget the rubber washers that go in here, the rubber spacers, very important. And also this might need a bit of adjusting. The step might need a bit of adjusting so that it clears the doors. In my case, this one on this side needed a little push down. Also make sure it's well located in the 4 retaining bolts as well. There's the other side, all done. Thank you for watching.